first one anyway.
Did you go first? It's ready.
No, I was like the last one. You were.
Oh.
Right? I think so. I don't know.
What's up, bro?
Reunions.
Yes.
Make room for me.
You're the man with reunions.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Ah, yes.
That was a good episode, wasn't it?
That was a good episode.
Oh my gosh, it was.
Reunions. Okay.
Okay.
We know better now, but we're not doing better, so I'm holding the mic, and you can
That's
not
fine.
correct me this
That's-
time.
That's totally fine. Did we check the audio?
I'm sure it's fine.
Famous last words. Check 1, 2. Hey, check.
Check, check, check.
Little baby buggy bumpers.
The green is going up on the monitor, so
That's a good sign.
I'm going to go with a yes. That's good to go.
Check, please.
What's today's date? This is
4th, June 4.
I haven't seen you guys in over 8 months.
That is
Why?
true.
Mid-October.
Yeah.
Mhm.
October 13th.
Was it the 13th?
Yeah.
That was your departure?
That was it, man.
Wow.
Well,
Look at
none
this.
of us have our script up, so let's see who can say the intro without looking.
Welcome to... This is it. We're
Here.
going to each give it a shot.
Okay.
Well, once the first person says it right, well, then the other person... I got this.
Okay, you got it.
Welcome to Big Ideas Podcast, where 3 co-hosts come together. Are you blown away?
I am, because you
Wow.
said you didn't know it.
Welcome to Big Ideas Podcast, where 3 co-hosts come together and talk about life. And I'm Mark Steiner.
Are we saying the intro and then our name?
Yeah.
Oh. Welcome to Big Ideas, the podcast where 3 co-hosts rotate roles and come together to talk about the ideas that shape their lives. I'm Jessica Broadway.
Do I try the intro too?
Yeah. We'll see if we got
Welcome
it.
to Big Ideas, the podcast where 3 co-hosts share their ideas and perspectives about the things that shape themselves and the world. I'm Justin Gabassi.
Wow. Well, apparently more is better. Like, I mean, if you could
This
cover
is-
all the bases, if you just throw lots of things in
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
you're bound to have gotten some of it.
Right.
Okay.
Well, when we read it so clearly on each episode, it is because we usually have it up for ourselves to read. Maybe by episode 50, I think this is going to be episode 26, and by episode 50, perhaps we won't need notes anymore. But guess what, guys? When you do something happens, and you learn some lessons along the way, right?
I think that's, for all the listeners we have, I think they tune in because we're not perfect, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think we did it exactly how it was supposed to be done.
And this episode is going to be kind of a reflection on not necessarily what we have learned as a podcast, like on doing a podcast, but 8 months, really a year ago, a few weeks ago, what was that date?
May 22nd, I think.
Yeah, May 22nd, we did a little FaceTime video to mark our 1-year anniversary of the conception, and we were in this room where Justin was sitting over here in a purple chair that you can't see, and Mark was sitting over here, and I was sitting here. And Justin shared that he was at a pivot point in his life, and Mark and I were listening. Mark said some things about what he thought, and then I said, hey, maybe you should do it from a beach in Bali. And where did you just come home from?
I just came back from my last stop on this trip was in Bali.
The beach in Bali.
Yeah.
A beach in Bali. So, yeah.
Which wasn't even part of ultimately I was going to come back a different way through Vietnam, so that was wild.
Which means, folks, that when it's for you, and when it's not, it is not. And this last year of us journeying together has really taught us a lot, and we thought that might share that with you and the life lessons that the last year's taught us about growth and vulnerability and becoming more of yourself and learning how to align with each other. So which one of you would like to kick off that conversation?
Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something, audience. Do you hear a buzz? Do you hear a humming? Audience? Oh, you do? Justin, can you pull that black plug over there?
Yes, sir. You mean to pull the
Just
plug,
pull, just pull the black plug.
Okay.
Pull it up.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay.
What's that? Oh, you don't hear it anymore?
Okay, good.
You're welcome.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's more proof that I'm losing my hearing because I heard none of that until you turned it off, and now I really do hear it.
It's like that. We have the ability to just take,
Wow.
You also have 4 technically boys in the house that are probably making all kinds of noises constantly.
There's a constant buzz in my life that never goes away. So
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, so on that topic, do you want to go first with some lessons, or should we kick it to
Lessons of this past year? In
yeah, like what have you learned? Not because we did that episode on what we've learned in podcasting so far, but like you and I had a conversation the other day about just like what life has taught us this last year and the growing and becoming, and then you and I had a talk about that in Reno about how much just this last year has really stretched us as humans, like not even just doing the podcast, but just the growth outside of that. And I felt like a reunion video, that moment a year ago was really the catalyst for this new launching of learning that we've all kind of been on a journey together, which I'm so grateful for. Yep. What are lessons that you're reflecting over that the last year's brought to you?
So much. There's so many times that we could have quit. We could have just said this is too hard. We could have gotten frustrated. It wasn't easy dealing with time zones.
We did get
frustrated, but we didn't quit. And we started without knowing a thing about how to do this. None of us had ever done podcasts before. And we just jumped in, and we muddled along a little bit, and then we got ourselves a coach, and that helped, and that continues to help. So I think the single lesson would be, don't wait for perfect, and the time is now, and just start. And as you can see, we're 28 in, and we're just an inkling better than our first one. So,
Can I have a question for you if you'll continue to expand?
Oh, please.
Because one thing I was thinking of about talking about today as well, and wanting to know from the two of you, is how many things we've each accomplished in the last year. I was like, I kind of wanted to tell you in advance, but also not to put you on the spot, but I know each of us have been up to a lot. And Mark, if you'll keep rolling, like, I don't want to steal your thunder, but there's a lot of things you've started and implemented this year.
Dude, since that's a good,
which some people, with all, hey, to each their own, right? If people aren't all just jumping on new stuff all the time or trying, maybe they're comfortable or happy with what they're doing, but the three of us have had a dizzying amount of firsts or new chapters this year.
I have a website that I think I've talked about maybe on 1 or 2 podcasts just briefly, but that's been an amazing feat. It's thinkupon.com, and I have been churning out content like nobody's business. I've just been, and I'm having the time of my life. I think I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. I enjoy every day basically archiving every move. I never thought I would enjoy this. I'm a little shocked that I'm saying it, but I'm enjoying this experiment to see just how many want to come along for the ride. And so that in and of itself is huge. It took me years to get this site up. And now I have a site, and I'm writing, and I'm blogging, and I'm doing lots of podcasts. And but I also have a couple startups that I'm working on, and just gave a developer the go-ahead yesterday to get me to the MVP level. And we bought a building across the street from this building, which is a monster of a thing. It's 33,000 square feet, and I'm so excited about it. Like I said, we're Is this number 28 or 29?
I think it's 26.
Okay. 26, 27, 28. It's more than 2. It's more than 20.
It's further than we thought we'd get.
It's much further than we thought we'd get. This is a huge accomplishment to me. I mean, we do a podcast and we've posted every week. We've not missed that. We committed to that, and
not only did we commit to that, but we oftentimes juggled anywhere from 12 to 18 hour time difference. That significantly shrunk our opportunities to seize the moment, and it is absolutely something that should be acknowledged. Like, the work and the level of commitment, I don't know that everyone would want to do that or navigate that. It has not been easy, but the relationship all of us and the magnetic pull of just knowing we're supposed to be doing this without any tangible proof that we should be doing it. Right. In fact, there was probably a lot of like red flags too. This has been a moment that I know I was meant to have, and an experience I was meant to have, and to do it with you too. You know, and I did learn, which I can't believe that we've known each other this long, but yesterday, or was it this, I think it was this morning, I did not know you had such a lovely singing voice.
Yeah.
I was like, look at him and his golden pipes sitting on top of the roof.
Seriously?
Seriously.
I was tickled and surprised at that too.
Oh my goodness, thank you guys.
I was like,
you little songbird. You're going to be nicknamed Songbird.
I told them to maybe not use that. I said, use the Ray Charles one, and they said no. Thank you. I
so good.
Thank you.
Well, and
I loved it.
You're also like along these lines. You I don't know when you started the acting, but I know you're heavy. You've been throughout your life, but then you're like back in big.
I'm going.
So I mean, I don't know. Maybe musical theater's in your future, bro.
I
work for Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
I like that. I'm going to be a Hugh Jackman protege.
Hugh, know you can do it.
Oh, no, he didn't.
There's the joke.
Stop it.
All right, had to.
Go. What have you learned this year? Or do we go to Justin?
I have learned a lot. Mostly, I've learned that I am capable of not feeling like doing something and doing it anyway, which is not the same thing as like being inauthentic or performing or avoiding hard conversations. It's not the same thing. Like, I know that sometimes we can not want to do something, and so we mask and we like, everything's fine. Like, I feel like I was pretty transparent about the difficulty and the frustration that I was experiencing as I was continuing to move through things. But I know I've had enough reps in life at this point of building things that I start to recognize the patterns of when the valley of despair is what I would like to call it. So it's like uninformed optimism. Hey, what could go wrong, right? And us sitting on the couch that day going, that's a great idea. Did we just start a podcast? You know, that was the uninformed optimism. And then, you know, it started getting real serious, and we started recording like the first episode here on the couch. And then that's called informed pessimism, is the moment I would probably define we left optimism and went into like the realized pessimism of it, that all the things you know now can go wrong, right? With the first couple of episodes of you being on the road. And when you go that, so it's uninformed optimism, informed pessimism, that's where you've identified the problems. You will go through this valley of despair, so to speak. It's this deep walk. And then you'll come out on the other side of achieving the goal and the vision that you had. But what makes you stay in the valley, most people are like, I'm out of here, and they go back the way they came in, right? And they get out. And what makes your continues to refine you and your growth journey is the processes and the work that you'll do on yourself while you're in that valley, right? That's what gets you to the other side. And if you get to go with friends, it's a lot less uncomfortable, right? Like, you're at least going to complain together, right? So at least you have some companionship in that. I've been in that roller coaster for several times. Anytime I do anything, I go through that. But the ability to recognize like where you're at in the process of it, it kind of like feels like a new superpower. You know, you're like, oh, there it is. Here's informed pessimism, right on track, right? And so then you're like, what's going to get me through is the things that I've done, the work I've done to grow as a person and take the next steps, you know. So that was like a reminder, not a new lesson, but a recurring lesson for me of what it feels like and how good it feels to acknowledge the disappointment and the frustration and do it anyway.
Yep.
Right? The other lesson that I learned this year was everything you need to know about what it is you want to do. So we want to do a podcast, right? Everything we need to know about doing a podcast can be learned by doing a podcast. Right?
Right.
And so to your point about just doing it,
Yep.
this was another layer of that learning for me, and another affirmation, another layer of richness and growth that was like proving the point that those who do win, those who think wait. Right?
There you go.
And
with another one of
so
your one-liners.
I just made that up. Like it literally
On the
just came
spot?
out of my mouth
What?
right now.
It's another one. It's another one.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's got to go in the.
That was not planned. It
Add
just
that to the Jessica Broadway book of one-liners.
But really, truly, like it just, I loved learning that this year. It was such a good reminder for me, and I was able to learn it on another level from a different vantage point. I believe life is a series of learning. Life is now in session, folks.
Yes.
It's a series of lessons that will repeat themselves as many times as you need to learn them in order to leverage them for your next thing, right?
Right.
And so I was really honored to learn that lesson, or to see it in motion, something that hypothetically I understood, but to see it again like play out that way. Like, you're right. Again, the only way to learn what you need to learn, even if you like intellectually studied this, we'd still have to prove the concept by doing it, right? Which would still teach us the nuances of it. And at this point, I've talked very long, and I've probably gone over my time for what's allotted for me to speak, but I think we're breaking the rules today.
You don't even get. You know, did we do? Oops.
Oh yes.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Let the record
Who
show
is that?
it is.
Oh my goodness
Oh,
gracious! Just
Rory-
talk through it. We're
Rory,
gonna talk
our coach,
through it.
Our coach Rory's gonna love this. The fact that there's
Hollywood.
there's a fact that there's a ring in the background. That is.
I need to get my
That's amazing.
just a little drink of water. Do you mind?
Go
I'll
ahead,
be right
go ahead,
back.
go ahead.
Water's all I'm going to do.
Yep, you're just gonna get a little sip of water. Yeah, I'm gonna watch and see what he really does over there. Hey, real quick though, too. I know you've talked for like a half hour or whatever, and it's my turn, but no, but no. For real, like you've also like had some, other than the podcast, there's a bunch of other really cool stuff you've done.
Yep, I when I got elected to be on the school board in Nixa, let's see, I started my own show, which is
What is that called?
the
Your own podcast?
The Jessica Broadway Show. And
Tune in, folks.
I guess, you know, if I was adding a third lesson I've learned this year, is that you can be good in one thing and then have to completely recalibrate to reposition in another one. I expected that since I've done this with you guys, it would be easy to start my own show, and then you guys weren't on my show, and I found myself talking to myself. And that was just like a whole nother adjustment. It's like now I have to learn podcasting from a solo aspect, which is a little awkward and jumbly, and you know, finding my like vibe on that, you know. So here I was going in it really overly confident that I'm gonna nail this one, only to be taught once again that I have more to learn. So that's been an interesting journey, and I hope people, you know, enjoy that. Whatever that is. It is literally a show. You don't ever know what you're going to get. So while I shape that one, you know, it feels like we've kind of settled into our spaces here, which is good, and it feels good. This feels a lot easier. So that gives me confidence that even though my own show is starting out where I don't really know what I'm doing necessarily, I do, but I don't, right? That by episode 20 on that one, I'll be rocking it too. So
yeah, those
are just a couple things. I got a senior coming up this year, which we all know that I cried a lot on that episode, but it's coming. I'll probably be crying a lot more this next year, so we're gonna learn together, and it's been so good. I feel like I've grown so much as a human, and the people around me, it's been really neat to watch them grow too, and it's just fun. It's a good season.
Yeah.
All right, your turn, big dog.
Yeah, good boss.
Or Gabosi.
There's Gabasi, Gabosi, Gabazi. They all work.
Well, yeah, I was talking about Reno, but
I know, yeah, for sure. Wow, this is there's so much I could talk about here, but I've mentioned this a bit, but I left thinking I was going to go study human connection, and I did, and I learned a lot about what people connect on and what they need, but the biggest lesson was the connection that I needed to develop with myself. And now I'm in, this is another huge chapter, because it feels foreign coming back after 8 months. Like, I'm curious what it's going to feel like to reintegrate. And I decided that the way I'm coming back to the US is as an observer, just with the same mindset of what it was like when I was going in other countries. Mm-hmm. Granted, the language and everything is the same, and there's friends and family here, but I found myself immediately sort of, I don't know, not like, it's a little shell shock style, and also maybe like there's just a lot of things that are done differently, and I want to learn how to re-embrace and see what I appreciate and things like that in a different way. But the deal with myself was, I got so lonely at times, and sometimes pretty down. And on the other side of that, like when I finally got through that, man, I really found like a different gear, a different relationship with myself, where I'm really a lot better with me. And it's changed me, for sure. I don't know even all the ways that it's changed me. I mean, the nuts and bolts are still there, but I just feel way different. And one of those things that was eye-opening as well is what I really found is I needed to learn better self-regulation. And for a guy that has been spiritual and, practices all these human optimization things, when I really put myself to the test in these different environments, and anything can vary, you're in the elements a lot more, there's the climate, maybe the hot shower doesn't work, maybe the traffic's crazy, maybe you can't understand anyone, you get lost, your flights get canceled, like any number of things, and you just have to, that's another thing, like finding a new gear there as well, like a new level of tolerance and acceptance that I didn't have before, that I thought I did. I thought I was pretty mellow, pretty cool, or like at least, could self-regulate, and I was like constantly being tested. And so I would like to think that I've cultivated better self-regulation, and that's something I'm really mindful of now, and using my tools more like, okay, how do I level up, instead of like a Band-Aid or a habit or a routine that I have to hit, instead of driving myself crazy with a to-do list. So those are the big takeaways for right now. I mean, it's going to be, the unfolding is going to continue, right?
I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Why did you say Mark?
I have questions too.
Okay.
I want to see if we have the same questions.
All right.
Have you been noticing and wondering your life?
Oh, I love it. Another Jessica Broadway-ism. I love that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to...
Go ahead. You guys, go ahead. I know you're going to dig. Go, just dig.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to expose like our private conversation we had poolside, but I do think it's insightful if you're willing to share,
No.
You can just
Can
say
you whisper
pass the mic.
Can you whisper the question?
Oh, I thought you said that it might pick up everything. I don't have to hold it to my mouth.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So no, what the question I was going to ask
go
you
ahead.
is, you said when we were talking before, which I thought was so interesting, is that you kind of have gotten like a dose of your own medicine.
Oh yeah.
Traveling, and like having to retrain yourself to shift from criticism to curiosity, and noticing how it might feel for other people sometimes. how you might come across to other people, right?
Yeah.
And can you like generically, or do you feel comfortable saying that? But like, what has that insight been like to you? That awareness.
Yeah. I mean, well, there's people specific also that I've met that are really on the same path I am with like human optimization, biohacking, and spirituality and stuff. And I thought, I thought I was pretty far up there, like pretty evolved, and there's some people that are way more evolved or intense, or I don't know, hold themselves to even higher standards than I do, and different kinds of standards. And it made me feel like judged in their presence. And after like some deep conversations, they're like, no, it's really not judgment, but it's really hard to decipher that. It's kind of hard to believe, right? And so then it's like a mirror, and it goes back to, well, why? Maybe there's something going on that I still need to sort out with the judgment, like, and so that's been a thing too, like, just coming back, and I don't know, so like here's an example too. This is like a little bit irrelevant, but kind of relevant because it happened on the way over. So traffic in some of these places is absolutely bonkers. It's like in some ways it's kind of lawless, people, but there's like a flow to it though, and there's a calmness. And when I first was like in Thailand, people are like, especially I was like on a scooter a lot, and people are just nearly hitting you, and I'm like, I'm from America. And we mind our rules of the road.
Well,
for the most part.
Yeah.
Space.
For the most,
There's
and so I found myself like bowing up, like, what the heck, man? Like, get in your lane, like, and people look at me like, dude, what's your problem? Why are you so upset? Why? Because everyone's like calm. And so then today I'm on my way here, and there's a woman driving a gigantic SUV that's on her phone, of course, right? And I haven't driven in the U.S. for 8 months.
That's right.
So
I
I'm
forgot
driving,
about that reintroduction.
On the way here. And of course she's on her phone, and she's driving not that great. And I'll just keep the name calling out of it. And she is like late to leave the light, and then she speeds past everybody, and then she's the same thing. And I started to like get triggered. I was like, the old, and I was like, okay, wait a minute. Let's observe. Notice and wonder. So I don't know, man. This whole thing is mind-blowing. It's just going to be a constant, like I said. Anyway, Mark, go ahead. I know you got something for me. Jessica, did I satisfy the inquiry?
You did. It was just that, like, awareness that how, I've told you this before, like, when you finally told me that one time that you struggle with sugar, I was like, I feel so seen. I thought you were, like, not, like, that never bothered you. And so you're, when you had shared that with me, I was like, yeah, it's so interesting. And I've experienced that too, like, on my journey, and other people around me feel like I'm judging them because I have insights or things, and it's not that at all, but people's perception is that you're judging them, and it's just interesting when we can have that experience for ourselves and be like, oh, this might be how I'm being perceived, how other people feel when they're with me, and what can I adapt or not change who I am so other people feel comfortable, but just being aware of like that thing. I think that's just interesting.
It's really interesting.
I was glad you shared that.
Yeah.
I have many questions. Not every one of them is directly about you. I'm curious, the people that you came across, and you said, some we're at a different level, in their evolution. What do these people do? Are they working? Like, are they similar to you?
Yeah.
Did they have careers? Were they working remotely? Were they like how?
Yeah. Good question, man. Most of them are working. This digital nomad community is a real thing, and a lot of them were maybe in AI or IT or online coaches of some kind, whether it's yoga, breath work, fitness, nutrition, life coaching. Again, tech, like a lot of people consulting from a distance via, with tech. Yeah.
Got it.
I would say the majority were working. There's definitely some people that weren't, or they were on short or extended vacation, just taking a hiatus, but yes, 70% probably were still working.
To that point about you came across people that were, you thought that you were self-actualized and perhaps at a different place, maybe more, a little further down the road, and then somebody else comes along or somebody else comes along and you see that, oh, they seem, well, I don't know if it's more confident, if they're more together, if they're more, I don't know how you would fill that in, but somehow you felt like not at their level. And it's curious to me if somebody is well-rounded and healthy and whole, and the further down the road, aren't those the folks who should be the least judgment? Like they're the ones that they're at peace. And it's not about higher or lower. I'm higher or lower than anybody else, but they're just present and they're doing life. Did you come across people that seemed to be at peace? Was there a tranquility with these people? Was there a calm, and did they seem to be, was there joy, or did a lot of people seem to be chasing something,
That's a great question, man. When I should clarify too, when I said further ahead or whatever the case might be, what I really should have stated was that they had taken some of the same things that I'm intense about and were even more specific and narrowly focused and intense about their particular belief system.
Got it.
And so that made me reflect on, it actually made me feel first, okay, where's the judgment coming from? If it's not from them, it must be internal. Okay, so then being like, okay, because I feel that way, maybe I can be easier with myself, and then also parlaying into being easier with everyone else as well. And so I did find people that were really at peace. And what's interesting, one of the most peaceful people I met, is my good friend Anthony that I met there. And this kind of a funny story. I'll just try to make it really quick, but a few of the friends I met in Thailand went to a guru, like this spiritual guru. And the setting was, as you would imagine, like you're going to go see like the Dalai Lama or something, right? And everybody's very, I don't know what you call this, but very like
reverent.
Thank you. Perfect word. Very reverent. The scene was like people were kind of dressed the right way, and the scene's calm.
Very movie-like.
Yeah. And so everyone's kind of like cuddled around, and they'd done this thing called an internal walk, where you walk with yourself in silence for a while, like to set up the vibe and get ready to hear this guy speak. And my buddy had not gotten the rules. He hadn't heard the rule book on the attire or like the vibe or how you're supposed to act or whatever. And this woman in the audience, after the guru finished speaking, the woman in the audience had a question for him. And before the guru answered, so my friend rolls in and he's sunglasses on, no shirt. He's kind of dancing. He's on his cell phone during the walk, which is like a big no-no.
Oh,
it's like having your phone go off during a podcast or something.
Right.
He was the city slicker in the, whatever, like the one that you're like clearly in the Hallmark movies, like this guy's gonna have a crash out.
He wears aviators like I like to do on stage. I mean, the guy's just himself, right? And he rolls in, and when the girl asks the question, he answers from the back the question.
Oh, geez.
And so
that was directed to the guru.
Yeah.
He answers.
Yes. And the guru's response was, before I answer your question, ma'am, let me just let everyone know that this is there's no one, basically, in so many words, said, I answer the questions, the audience asks the questions. And some of the other people that were there were kind of embarrassed by him, and the friends that knew him.
Yes. And
they told me this story, and I said, I hope if I get to a place where people consider me to be a guru. Oh, and later the girl walked up to my friend, by the way, before I give the punchline, walked up to my friend and said, hey, thank you so much. What you said to me was so insightful, and it really, really helped.
The guy.
Yeah. The guy that wasn't following all the, my buddy that wasn't following all the rules.
Boom. That's a life lesson.
Boom. Right? And I thought, okay, because they were like, what do you think about this? Was he in the right? Was he in the wrong? And I thought, if I am considered a guru, I hope that I have such little ego that I welcome
Any answers.
because that ultimately, she ultimately got what she needed and wanted, right, in that session. So does that answer the question? I mean, it's like the people. Okay, here it is. The people that label it, oh, I've made it, or I've this is where it's a slippery slope, and I've had myself, oh, I'm the fitness guy. This whole trip, this whole 8 months, completely turned all that on its head, and now I'm just like, I'm just going to do the best I can. I'm going to keep studying and sharing information the best I can. I'm going to keep trying to become the best version of myself, but the more, it's like that whole cliche, the more you learn, the less you know, right?
Right.
And so...
But until you learn that lesson in real life, you still think it's hypothetical, right? Or a good antidote.
Right.
You don't actually... What I heard when you said that lesson was like, this guy, maybe he even if he had listened to the rules, so to speak, perhaps it would have created a filter for him where he wouldn't have engaged the way he did so generously, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of like a life metaphor. Like, there's a rule book and it's good at points, but there comes a time where you can get so caught up in the manual of life and the how-tos that you forget to lead from your heart.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a time where you'll have to shred the how-to manual and re-embrace yourself and you like what you know to be true and lead with that. That's a great
Was he
story.
embarrassed? Was the guy embarrassed?
No.
Of course not, because he seems
I
to.
love this
He's
guy.
like he's like my guru. He's like, I want to be like Anthony, because he's extremely in the present moment. He's very loving. Like, kind of makes no excuse for him. Like, I mean, he's a great guy, and he's like just himself.
I
Like,
had an answer.
he's like, yeah. Like,
It
as much
didn't
as
come across from like arrogance, or it wasn't arrogance.
He was just really trying to help. Like, he had an epiphany, and he said, I was just moved to share this information. I didn't know the rules, and he shared it, and it was like exactly what she said. This is what I needed to hear.
And did he? That's funny. I
Yeah.
love it.
And the guru, the ego with the guru, and I was like, man,
yes,
that's not the guru I want.
That's not the guru I want either.
Anyway,
another question, Justin. Did you feel? What I think I heard was you feel more comfortable in your own skin now,
I do.
and it seemed like you were less inclined to feel lonely towards the end of the last month or two. Like, it seemed like there was a turning point, and it didn't seem like there was as much. You were as there didn't seem to be sadness or.
Yeah.
Is that true?
That's true, man. That's true. And in retrospect, I've asked myself, why was I so sad in such beautiful, amazing places? And I was very grateful to be there, and really very much loved and enjoyed and took a lot from it. But this internal journey was quite challenging, because you are just isolated sometimes, and then also like I talked about in one of our podcasts, you build these relationships, but they're transient. Like, people leave, so there's a lot of
coming and
you
going.
get excited, and then you experience like some loss, and there's a lot of that ebb and flow, and I honestly, coming back here over the last 48 hours, well, even before, like, I guess I've been on U.S. soil about 5 days, and I'm feeling some kind of way, like it's emotional. I'm missing that lifestyle. I'm missing those relationships. Very excited and happy to be experiencing these as well. And I don't really know, I don't really know what the balance is, because if you're constantly pushing yourself, like Jessica and I just did the perfect day in Reno, and I was telling her on the way over here, like, there was a moment before I spoke, where I was freaked out. I was scared, blah blah, scared bleep bleep. And I looked at myself in the mirror, and I was like, I was like, bro, you've been doing this a long time, you know, with the acting, the performing, like, you're made for this. But I was still, there's always like the pregame jitters, you know what I mean? And I was like, I guess, I just shook my head at myself and I was like, dude, are you ever going to quit? Like, are you ever going to chill out and stop scaring the hell out of yourself? And I was like, no. I just have to get used to the discomfort of growth, I get. Like,
Right.
You just have to, like, if you're going to grow, you're just always going to be a little uncomfortable, or maybe a whole hell of a lot uncomfortable.
That's it.
Right?
Yes.
So, like, this personal journey I'm on and all this stuff, it's like I'm just trying to, like, keep digging in, man. And I know you're going to keep helping me dig in, and you're going to help keep me dig in. And that's
and same, you know.
Yeah.
We are learning. We are learning from one another, and this experience has taught me as much as anything I've learned this past year. It had been a while since I had committed to an endeavor and within a partnership, and a year later here we are. I mean, I don't think I haven't done anything like this since Gig Salad, really. I think I got that right.
Somebody out there is going, he forgot about me.
Yeah, exactly. Wait, what about that thing we did, Mark? Sorry. No.
I understand.
A brand new endeavor, something never done before. This was a big stretch.
Yeah.
But I think all of us are confident enough, prideful enough to think. I mean, we all thought we could do this.
Enough.
The BOHAG, right? The bold, audacious, just outrageously. We thought. I mean, initially it was like, how hard could this be? Mm-hmm. We really thought we get together and we talk, stick a mic out there. But
I love that version of us.
I do too.
It was so uninformed, optimistic.
And it's how I want to do everything.
Everything.
It's how I'm going to do my. I'm going to do this solo myself. I'm next.
And then you're next, yeah.
So I'm going to be, and it's going to be. I don't have two people to lean on in that. It's going to be, it's all me. Megan's going to help. She's going to produce, and so. I definitely realize everything I want to do in collaboration. There's some things I think I was thinking about this just maybe it was just yesterday. I was like, what am I doing that I'm not doing with others? And I think I got to find something. I got to find something that's just me. And I think
acting maybe. Or?
Yeah, but like an adventure that really could possibly make me scared. Like a traveling like that. Like how would I do? I don't know. But this thing has made me feel like I can do anything, especially when I choose right. When I choose the right partners, then we're invincible. Anything is possible.
Can I add to that choosing the right partners doesn't mean conflict free?
That's right.
Oh no.
Right? Like
I hated both of you most of this past year.
You hated me? Oh,
wow,
dude.
Who believed me there? Come here. I hate no one. No.
But yeah, it's not conflict.
It's not conflict free.
What it is refining. It's like choosing the right people are the people that you're willing to invest in how you need to grow yourself to move to a place where you don't feel like critical and scared, or and that you're curious and you hold space and you trust one another. Like there was some parts where like my unresolved trust things like surfaced. I was like, oh my gosh, like do I trust and learning, it's like I said, it's a new level, and then sometimes you get taught, you get opportunities, like you said, to recommit to evolving and to say, yes, I no longer look for proof in my life as the absence of the things I struggle with, but I look for the proof of growth being in my ability to recognize quicker and reclaim and, pivot from it, right? And it's like, I don't know, that's been like the dial on that's been turned way up. I've gotten lots of opportunities to do that, and to grow in that capacity too. Yeah, it's something you said made me think of something, but I've forgotten it. So
I probably should have added this is probably the biggest thing I think I've taken away is that, I don't know, I was scared of bad things, I think, throughout my whole life, and a lot of bad things have happened throughout my life, and then you get this victim mentality and you carry it around until you sort it out with Jessica about loss. Thank you. And this entire thing, this whole trip was born out of something that I thought was like pretty bad. Like, just for me, it was quite unsettling. And along the journey, there were things that happened, with people or situations. And in retrospect, every one of those things, the bad had like a golden nugget or a diamond hidden inside of it, and you had to I've had to get through the crappy part, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, that where I'm at now is such a blessing. And it's like, so when bad stuff starts to happen now, I'm like, I guess it's really taken my faith to a level that's far beyond where it ever was before.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Justin, do you think that when you set out on this journey that you were, I know it was, the premise was I'm running, you were going towards something, you were going to journey and discover, but it seems like what you discovered in the first half of the trip was that that perhaps you were running from something as opposed to running towards something. Don't you? I mean, the whole setup came from loss. There was a lot of loss going on. There was a lot of it was scarcity, it was loss, it was, you didn't have a place to live anymore all of a sudden. The career was not happening quite the way that you had thought, and some of those things. And it seems like you went out to say, I'm going to explore and I'm going to try to, I'm going to learn about the human condition and stuff. But what seems to have unfolded, I know some of our conversations and some of the stuff that we talked about in the podcast was things that you were discovering in yourself that I think you were things that you had hoped maybe you didn't have to deal with or didn't want to deal with.
Over, but now we're re-exposed and having to deal with it.
Yeah. What do you think? Is there anything to that?
Yeah, this is where I have to lean heavily into Jessica's and.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Okay, good. I'm glad you're there.
Because
I remembered what I was gonna say.
Oh,
I think where I have needed to heal and address things is I needed to have the courage and the faith in myself to take another risk.
Right.
But and having not done that, so I had to run towards something and I was running away, but I was also running towards something. And the two of those, it's like a paradox, it's crazy. I needed them both. I was running away from things, and I was running towards something else too. And they coincide. And so as I'm learning new things, I'm resolving old things as well.
That's right. Did you know though that you were running as much as you were?
No.
Yeah, that's
not at all. I knew I was to an extent, and some of it I needed to get some space on,
right?
And I needed to run a little bit, but I didn't know to the extent. And what I really didn't know is how much more work I needed to do within myself.
And it seems like most of that stuff is, as far as I can tell, a lot of it's resolved, right? You come to some conclusions and resolutions with a lot of stuff in your life, right?
A lot of it, man. But there's this part of me that
doesn't want to say it.
Well, not really that. It's just there's this part of me now that's not trying to be the know-it-all anymore, and I'm just I'm just gonna you know what? I feel really good about a lot of things, but I'm gonna observe, again, man, trying to reacclimate to the West.
Yeah,
and it's really like in so many ways a 180 than how things are done other places on the planet, man. And there's so much beauty and stuff to it as well, though. So like now I'm like, okay, don't think you're all good, man, because
right.
who knows, dude? Like what's gonna happen? You know, I mean, I'm positive and all that, but go ahead. Go ahead. What were you gonna say, Jessica?
What I'm hearing when you're talking like that is like you are embodying the and, right?
Yeah.
Because our language says a lot of times we say, I'm finding myself here and I'm happy for, but, right? That erases like what we said before, and it kind of invites that you're either happy to be here or you wish you were over there, right? Mm-hmm. The and says that both things can be true. I can really have a hindsight reflection and a longing for that lifestyle I had there, and I can be happy to be sitting on the couch with you guys.
Absolutely.
You don't have to choose an either or, right? You can be now really curiously becoming evolved and still be confident in the fact that you do know some things about life, right? It doesn't have to be total ignorance or absolute know-it-all.
You know, but the key is, I think, for me anyway, is that there's discomfort in that.
Oh, for sure.
You're not, you're rarely have I felt warm and fuzzy over the last year, like just cozy. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm just completely happy, or I'm just completely cozy. Right. You have, like, it's like the thing before the speech. If you're growing, it's like working out a muscle in the gym, stretching during a stretch, like stretching your legs out or your muscle. It's all there's a silver lining, right? But the process of stretching is just, it's like a constant, so it's uncomfortable. So as long as you're striving, you just have to know there's going to be a little bit of uncomfortable undertow potentially.
Yes.
And I don't know why we run from that. Like everyone's trying to numb out. You know what I mean?
No one wants to be uncomfortable.
Yeah, but you know, even hard work makes us have dopamine. I'm so excited to get the second rating on this podcast. Yes. Yeah. Rory is going to absolutely. I don't even know if he's going to let us publish this episode.
But you know what?
We publish what we want.
You know what? We at least acknowledged it and leaned into it. And
we're getting close to time anyway. But
when you were talking about that, I think because we don't have the awareness, and you know this from and you know this because of your experiences, we register that sense of discomfort as that fight or flight response of like, I'm scared a bear is chasing me.
Yeah.
And so in order to acknowledge the healthy discomfort that is making me want to pursue new opportunities, to rewire that and recognize that and affirm that in ourselves. This is not a bear chasing me. It is just the fact that I have never done this before, right? That's the key. And then trying to differentiate and be always aware of that. You're right, people numb it out because in their subconscious they register that as threat, so they don't want to feel that, but...
And there's a really slippery slope, and this is scientific too, and you probably know this, but there's a real strong, close correlation between fear and excitement.
It's what you tell yourself that makes a difference.
Boom. So I thought before the speech, even though I've done it a million times, I just really wanted to get the message across. It was really important to me. And I thought, am I scared or am I excited?
I'm excited.
I was a little nervous, but I was excited as well. And that's something too, like embrace the excitement. You know what I mean?
And you can be scared.
Yeah.
Do it anyway. Yeah. I think my takeaway from this is I do not want to become the guru with all the answers. I want to remain curious and never think that I've arrived. Because, there's going to be an interesting test for you now that you're back. You've clearly learned a lot this past year. There's no doubt that you've learned a ton about yourself, about life, about other humans, about relationship. But there's going to be, it's now coming back to some familiar, coming back to family, friends, practicing some of your new self around others.
I know.
Will be a huge a huge test. And I'm excited to be a part of it. Stay tuned for the next episode, folks, because we're going to be talking about this stuff.
The roller coaster is never over.
No,
so
it's
once
not.
you go uninformed optimism, informed pessimism, valley of despair, and reach your goal, you just start all over again. And you go, oh, I am uninformed and optimistically uninformed about what's coming next for me. And you just kind of embrace it. You start to lean into life, and you tell the truth about when you're uncomfortable, and, just go for it.
It's the hero's journey. You've been on a hero's journey, and then as soon as you come through the other side, you head.
You have. I
Oh,
have.
yeah.
This whole year has been that for all
We're
of
never
us.
not. And now you enter into a new one.
Thing too,
Just
man,
which stage are you in?
the thing is, where I feel really blessed is I have friendships like the two of you, and I have a really great family, and I have a really great group of friends here at home and then now also abroad. And man, that is a secret weapon that I don't know that everybody has, man. And I don't know how that's happened, but I feel very blessed. And that is never not appreciated every day.
That's gratitude.
The fact that I went away was, you guys helped hold space, and I mean, bro, you sent me off on a high note after Austin City Limits, and you guys were both there throughout the entire journey. We got to do this together. I was checking in with family back home. I mean, it's like really, the thing is, it really is a team thing. I mean, it really is a team thing.
Oh, yeah. We're all just walking each other home.
Oh, what a great way to end the show.
Okay.
Well, that's it for Big Ideas Podcast, the podcast where three co-hosts discuss life and the decisions that shape our lives. Thanks for being here.
If something sparked...
If this
Curiosity
conversation sparked something for you, stay curious. What a mess.